Good evening, you're watching Eswatini TV News Bulletin at 8, read to you by Notilesi Tole. First up, let's have a look at tonight's headlines. Government has vowed to shut down all liquor outlets who continue to sell alcohol after the allowed operating hours. Government has received a positive response in respect of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Kingdom of Eswatini is now part of the Clean Network Alliance, which is led by the United States of America. And now, the news in detail. The acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says government will not tolerate any reckless behavior which puts the lives of eMaswati in danger. He says Operation Bopa will be strengthened across the country to protect the lives of eMaswati. Masuku said this at a press conference which was held at the Cabinet offices in Babane.
The acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says there are still people and groups who still live under the sad and unfortunate illusion that the strengthened partial lockdown measures are false alarms with no basis. He says among these defying the regulations are some liquor outlets who have been found selling alcohol beyond the stipulated time.
Unfortunately, there are still pockets of people and groups who still live under the sad and unfortunate illusion that these are false alarms with no basis. This is really unfortunate. Among those defying the regulations are some liquor outlets who have been found selling alcohol beyond the stipulated time. We want to state emphatically that we will not tolerate any reckless behavior which puts the lives of the eMaswati in danger. Operation Bopa will be strengthened across the country to protect lives.
The acting Prime Minister says people must take COVID-19 seriously and protect themselves and the lives of eMaswati. Reporting, I'm Lungilele Makakula with Muzim Konda in Babane.
And on another note, the acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku has urged eMaswati to refrain from practicing the custom of Gofugama, as researchers have revealed that it is one of the super spreaders of COVID-19.
It is, however, imperative that we emphasize that the custom of Gofugama is strongly discouraged, as research from epidemiologists provide that they are among the super spreaders of the virus. We completely understand that this is an important support system for the bereaved, but we plead with eMaswati to stop Gofugama with immediate effect to avoid causing more deaths. We have seen some families lose more than one member in succession due to the observance of Gofugama.
The Kingdom of Eswatini has become the 60th country in the world and the first in Africa to be part of the Clean Network Alliance, which is a U.S. government-led project which seeks to harness the opportunities that Clean Network and also protect citizens' data. In a virtual ceremony to welcome the kingdom into the alliance, the acting Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Mangoba Khumalo, says being part of the Clean Network Alliance will open up the ICT space in the kingdom.
On the 5th of August 2020, the United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo launched the Clean Network, which is a U.S.-led government partisan effort to address what is described as the long-term threat to data privacy, security, human rights, and principled collaboration posed to the free world from humanitarian malign actors. The Clean Network is intended to implement internationally accepted digital trust standards across a coalition of trusted partners. The Kingdom of Eswatini on Friday became the 60th country and the first country in Africa to be part of the Clean Network Alliance, which emphasizes the importance of securing the entire 5G information technology ecosystem. In an event that was held virtually, the acting minister for ICT, Mancuba Khumalo, applauded the US government for affording the kingdom an opportunity to be part of the Clean Network Alliance. The minister says the kingdom seeks to transform the education sector through the use of information technology, and being part of such an initiative augurs well with the country's ambitions. Khumalo says they believe that this move will also attract big tech companies to set up in Eswatini. Representing the US government was the Under-Secretary of State in Economic Growth, Energy and Environment, Kate Craig, who passed his condolences to the kingdom for the passing of the Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini. Kate went on to applaud His Majesty's government for taking such a bold and judicious decision to be part of the Clean Network. He says this will indeed enhance the kingdom's efforts of attracting foreign direct investments. Kate also applauded His Majesty King Mswati III for strengthening bilateral relations with Taiwan. He says he believes that the Biden administration is going to strengthen bilateral relations with Taiwan and also support Eswatini in urging the UN to allow Taiwan to participate in all UN platforms. He says there is a lot that Taiwan can contribute in the world, especially in the tech space. I am LinkedIn Gule reporting for Eswatini TV News in Babane.
The Minister of Health, Liz Ngosi, says the ministry is worried that members of the public consume antibiotics as a measure to prevent themselves from contracting the coronavirus. The minister warns against the usage of antibiotics because if taken for the wrong reasons, they can cause an antibiotic resistance.
There are many measures taken by members of the public to prevent themselves from contracting the coronavirus, such as drinking hot water with garlic, ginger, lemons, and many other ingredients. Alternatively, they use supplements to boost their immune systems. The Minister of Health, Liz Ngosi, says it has come to their attention that people flock pharmacies to buy antibiotics, which they use as a preventative measure against COVID-19. She urges Eswatini to refrain from doing so because when antibiotics are used for the wrong reasons, they become resistant. She says this may affect them in the long run when they get ill.
My worry is the antibiotics are prescribed and they're drinking them. That would be my worry.
She says it worries the ministry that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has listed Eswatini as one of the leading countries in COVID-19 deaths.
Worry about a single death that shouldn't happen. So, the number of deaths are affecting our country. And of course, we're doing everything even looking into therapies. We are trying to get new teams and new thinking into the country.
She urges members of the public to continue to adhere to the COVID-19 public space.
In adults, the risk is the same, the risk of contracting or getting COVID. But then the difference is the risk of getting severe disease. So adults, or especially the elderly, are at a higher risk compared to the children. So it's not like that the child at an advantage in terms of not contracting COVID is the same.
How quickly can children spread the virus to the elderly?
It's still being actually studied to see how much of the transmission comes from the children. But yes, it has been observed in some settings that actually the children, they actually bring the infection to the adults, the elderly at home. So we need to actually do as much as we can to avoid or prevent these children from getting the infection.
Dr. Kevin advises parents to leave children under the age of 6 at home in instances where they will decide to go to a public area. Reporting, I'm Lungilela Makakula with Moses Mkonda in Manzini.
Since January 8, 2021, the Ministry of Home Affairs has issued 127 funeral permits to families which have requested to bury their loved ones 3 days after death. This was said by the ministry spokesperson Mlando Dlamini during an interview with Eswatini TV.
The request for burial permits issuance comes after Acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku's announcement on January 7 that burial of deceased, especially those who succumbed to COVID-19, should be within 3 days. Masuku said thereafter, families should seek burial permits from the Ministry of Home Affairs. The Ministry's Communications Officer, Mlandvo Dlamini, says in the Hoho region, 30 burial permits have been issued. 15 in the Ibombo region, 35 in the Shiselweni region, while the Manzini region leads with 47 funeral permits that have been issued.
We therefore request the nation to adhere to the COVID regulations at all times when they hold these events. We appeal to the nation that they must make sure that they wear masks at all times, they sanitize or wash hands with running water and soap, and also social distance to curb the spread of the virus.
What are some of the reasons given by the families who apply for the special permit?
Mostly in Dlangamandla, families tell about financial constraints, and also that some of their loved ones, their relatives are out of the country, whom needs to facilitate the burials, especially even with the death certificate, where one would find the child of the deceased is in South Africa. So they would then request for the extension.
The burial of deceased persons within 3 days is one of the ways that government is trying to curb the spread of COVID-19 second wave, which is claiming more lives. On Thursday, 335 people have died in the country due to the virus. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Mbabane.
Eswatini MTN customers will from today be able to borrow up to 300 emalangeni from MTN Momo. This was said by Eswatini MTN Senior Marketing Manager Meshak Masego during a virtual launch of the company's new products today.
Maswati will remember that we are coming from a campaign where we were saying Maswati deserve the best. That was in the last 3 months of the year 2020. So this year we are saying Maswati need to do the most in 2021 because they deserve the best. That's why we are saying we are launching this do the most campaign. So we launched a couple of products, but there's key products that we launched under mobile money. The first product that we launched under mobile money is the increase of the limit for borrowing. So you remember that last year we introduced Momo loans, where Maswati are able to borrow a little amount to buy electricity for bus fares and those small things that Maswati need on a daily basis. We've increased the limit for borrowing from 200 emalangeni to 300 emalangeni, and then we'll monitor and then we'll keep increasing until we reach two amounts that Maswati will continue to enjoy under mobile money. So Maswati can now enjoy loans up to 300 emalangeni on mobile money starting today. So we're really excited about introducing that on mobile money.
Eswatini National AIDS Program National Art Coordinator Dr. Advocate Dlamini says cross-border and other people who are on antiretroviral treatment are advised to take their treatment consistently in order to have a strong immune system during this time of COVID-19. Dr. Dlamini said this during an interview with Eswatini TV in Mbabane.
As the country continues to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, which is still ravaging the globe, especially during the second phase of the virus, Eswatini National AIDS Program under the Ministry of Health says Eswatini cross-borders, including truck drivers and those who are studying outside the country who are on antiretroviral treatment are well taken care of because 2 clinics at Lavumisa and Oshuk border posts, which are highly densely populated, patients on art treatment can access their treatment without facing difficulties. Eswatini National AIDS Program's National Art Coordinator Dr. Advocate Dlamini says there is no need for Maswati who are on art treatment not to take their medication during these difficult times of COVID-19 because this will help them to boost their immune system.
This program, it treats each person individually. So we look and analyze the situation the person is in, and we treat the person according to that. So this DSD program, it helps in a form that, first of all, we look into what we call viral suppression for each and every patient. And the element of viral suppression is the one that helps this person to really qualify to benefit from this DSD. So in DSD, we give added months. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, based on our stock status, that these people can benefit from, just be away and continue with their business as usual with added months of supply. So it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months. And also one issue that is very important to emphasize is the issue of viral load and CD4 count that we normally take usually at 6 months. We find that in a year they come twice. So we also make sure that when such a time comes, we take the viral load to make sure to check that is he or she virus suppressed.
Dr. Dlamini further advised those who are on treatment to make sure that they always keep their medical certificates so that when they travel to SADC countries, they can easily get assistance in case the treatment is finished while away. For Eswatini TV News, Zodwa Dlamini with Mbonga Dube, Babane.
Micro, small and medium business people based at the Small Enterprises Development Companies at Co-Building in Babane say the non-opening of schools has had a negative impact on their businesses as parents do not buy school uniforms at all.
On January 6, the Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard, announced that schools will not reopen anytime soon, at least not this month, because of COVID-19 second wave outbreak. The non-opening of schools have crippled school uniforms producing businesses as they have seen a drastic drop in income as parents are reluctant to buy school uniforms as there is uncertainty.
Ukuthi nje umsebenzini noma kude lokwenda kuyayivukele khona but kahle kahle kude lesikwenda sifike sihlale nje sigathe labo labachibela kube kuphela nje
main for money kodwa abatala bethu nawe kungangeke uzoya uyabona covid vele sihlasele kakhulu covid ayikaqala inyalo kusihlasela icele end of February makufanele sithengise ama trucks odasikathengisa asathi next rent anganisotho.
During interviews with the affected business people, they say they were unable to make profits since March last year as schools closed before they could have sold winter schools wear, like tracksuit for pupils. The business people hinted that they might close down businesses as they are currently not making money as schools are closed. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Babane.
Royal Eswatini Police Service says the police are worried about children who are doing business by selling eucalyptus leaves along the country's public roads because this may lead to road accidents. Vilagati said this during an interview with Eswatini TV in Babane.
Following the increasing number of children who are found doing various businesses along the country's public roads, especially those selling eucalyptus leaves, which is believed to cure COVID-19, Royal Eswatini Police Service strongly condemn this behavior because the children might be hit by cars and may find themselves exploited. Police Information and Communications Officer Chief Piko Pindile Vlagati has appealed to parents and guardians to take care of their children to avoid being hit by running cars while doing their business near the country's roads.
Appeal to the nation, the community leaders, we appeal to parents or guardians to assist us as police as we observe this behavior that could be so dangerous to the children. Whenever they are doing this business along the roads with different products that include those leaves that are believed to be a fight against COVID. Some are selling fruits, some are selling fish, and some are selling other things, different things that are being sold along the road. But the behavior is very dangerous because whenever they see the car, they all compete to be the ones to sell to that vehicle, and they ignore the other vehicles that are moving around the road, which could be very dangerous. So we appeal to the nation to do something about these situations.
Save the Children Child Protection Officer Thabo Makakula says the organization strongly condemns this kind of behavior, and he urged the parents to take care of the children during the partial lockdown period.
We strongly discourage the availability of children or making themselves available on the streets or on the roads. They are posing danger to themselves, and also some people could have other motives. For instance, to steal children, as we know that we still have missing children in this country.
Makakula further urged the children to stay at home to avoid being infected by the deadly disease. For Eswatini TV News, Zoto Adlamini with Mbonga Dube, Babane.
Good evening, you're still watching Eswatini TV. Now we'll have a look at our sports news. Elite League coaches are worried about the 2 weeks break that has been brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. The managers are saying such breaks affect the rhythm of their teams.
The 2019-2020 season did not play to its conclusion after the coronavirus outbreak. The new season was 2 games in when it was suspended after the government announced a 2-week strict restriction on gatherings in a bid to reduce the numbers of coronavirus cases. Local coaches have come out to voice their frustration as they say it is disturbing their rhythm they found during the initial preseason they had, but now they will have to start all over again as their teams are not training. The coaches say they understand the situation is out of everyone's control and all they pray for is everything to go back to normal, and that the players' health is very important to them as there will be no football without them.
Kuyasitisteba but kule simo esikuso sona lesi se-COVID kulukhuni kakhulu because kude intaba esingadenda vele lokuthi singaya kojima kanjani. I think kuyasitisteba but kude singakwenda because lento lena iyimbi silwane lesingasati sihamba naso la siba la ikitha sisati lokuthi sisilwane sini sihamba nje naso. So I think as much as si disturbeka ku rhythm and all those things, but kuyasisita lokuthi sihlale sikubuko lokuthi kuta kanjani singakhona ukunqoba singemaswati.
Basically ngicabanga ukuthi tikhona into leti ngekho control yethu njengale lesimo lesi nje si disaster sawona. Ngeke sa blame umuntu because impilo imcoka kuna stawuthi kuna le bhola ngoba le bhola ngesidlala nabantu labafile ufuna siqale 7 empilo yokuqala do mhlawumbe kona ebholeni ku rhythm kuyas-affecta kuyayi-affect team ngoba it's the kind nase iqala ujela bese siyema nasesibuyela futhi siphinde siqale phasi kodwa kude singakwenda under the circumstance.
The coaches also encourage the players to use this time to train on their own, so to keep fit and keep the momentum going, which will also help them be into shape when they finally resume with their activities. The Football Association squashed fears that the season may not be played to its conclusion. The association says they will first complete all the league games before starting knockouts tournaments. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizwa Msibi, Mbabane.
That's all for now. Before we conclude, let's have a relook at tonight's headlines. Government has vowed to shut down all liquor outlets who continue to sell alcohol after the allowed operating hours. Government has received a positive response in respect of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Kingdom of Eswatini is now part of the Clean Network Alliance, which is led by the United States of America. And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next is the weather update from myself and the crew here at Eswatini TV. Thank you for watching. Good night.